Hello, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Brigitta Toruño, and welcome to Uno Soul's Chat. Today, I am so honored to be chatting with Eduardo and Claudia, also known as Bernie y Klau. And they are Uno Souls, and they work in different healing modalities. Welcome, Bernie and Klau.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, hello. I'm so honored.
Very excited.
Very excited.
Thank you. We're so honored to have you. And I'd like to start with the question, how have you been doing through our surreal times of the pandemic?
Well, it has been quite a journey as everybody has gone through this. It's going into the unknown. And we know that unknown is something that doesn't sit very well with most of our energies. So we have been doing a lot of energy work to make sure that the external stress doesn't impact us in our energies and therefore in our health as well. And just managing the risk the best we can, and hoping that this ends soon.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. I do feel like it was something that happened that was just the entire humanity went through it, right? It wasn't just us in the United States. It was of course global, and it was a lot. And I imagine that as healers, you probably have been busy with helping others too through this.
Yes, we have. And actually, we have learned a lot of it. It's a learning experience, all this.
Yeah.
We've been working with a lot of people with COVID, unfortunately, but it's a learning process.
Yeah,
we understand energetic how the virus impacts us in different ways. We actually have seen patterns of energy structures that are not well balanced, and that cause our patients or clients to be in a more severe state than others. So it's very interesting as a learning experience. It's just very bad for everybody to have to go through that. But the long haul, we know which systems are impacted and how to manage that to help people. So it has been fascinating from a research perspective and horrible from a human point of view.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure some of our listeners would like to learn more about that, maybe on another opportunity, because I think, of course, people who have had COVID and have had the long hauler impact, I'm sure that they would love to know more about that. But today I would love to know, and I'm sure our listening audience would love to know about your story and how it led you to start learning these healing modalities.
Yeah, well, we are both engineers. I'm in computer science, and he's an electrical engineer with a master in science. And well, it just started with Bernie getting very, very sick in 2005. And he was diagnosed with aplastic anemia, with severe aplastic anemia. So basically, he stopped producing blood and attacking his own body. So he was living by transfusions almost on a daily basis. And he got a treatment. And the doctor said, well, you are getting here. This is as good as you are going to get. So we started to looking for answers to a way to get better, because they said, you're not going to be able to be as good as you were previously. Maybe you could get golf, one round of golf. That's what they say.
Oh,
maybe.
And you know what was my answer for that?
What?
I don't like golf.
That's not your goal.
Yeah.
But it must have been such a scary time.
It was for both of us, and it was at least a couple of months where we didn't know if he was going to leave the next day. But we are very grateful that we found the energy working with the subtle energies, and little by little we start learning and learning dozens of modalities, and eventually he was like almost 100%. He's not with aplastic anemia anymore, and he's doing triathlons.
Wow.
I would love to go with the doctor and say, this is the goal. He's doing triathlons now. He's not doing golf. Yes.
Well, yeah, and I think that that's a very important point about Western medicine versus Eastern medicine, right? And I want to hope that Western medicine is maybe listening a little bit more and opening their eyes to these possibilities of being able to heal their patients if they just reach out a little bit beyond the normal procedures.
Absolutely. What we tell our clients is, that diagnoses are correct. They are based on studies, labs, different ways of assessing the body, but never believe fatal prognosis, right? Mm-hmm. Prognosis is just statistics, and in statistics, there's always the outliers. And if there's one outlier in 100,000, why wouldn't be you? So exactly. Hope for that and look for options.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's great. Bernie y Klau, why is it important to balance our energy systems?
Well, we believe that, when we look at illnesses, illnesses have their source from an energetic imbalance many months or years ago, which means, if you take care of your systems, you're preventing illnesses in the future. And also, it will make you feel better. It will make you be happier, more energetic. You will enjoy life more. You will be more present. So it has a lot of secondary effects that I love all of them.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. And I have to say a little bit to our audience that I was introduced to Bernie y Klau by my yoga teacher, Pat Powell. And she always has spoken very highly of both of you and your healing abilities. And so she, I have gone through learning a little bit myself of because a lot of this is self-care, right? A lot of it is, which is what drew me to it in the first place. I had a severe concussion 3 years ago. And when I got to a point of being able to look at my computer, somehow it appeared on my computer, the Eden energy work. And I was fascinated by it. And so I started doing a little bit on my own, and I went to a workshop, and I found that it started making me feel like it was taking me a level up in terms of what was happening, with my brain.
Absolutely. It causes resilience. We love Donna. We are certified in Donna Eden method. That was one of the first classes and certifications we took 2005, 2006. We started with her. Amazing teacher. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're talking about self-help. That is one of the biggest things for this type of work, because it empowers the people to take responsibility from their health and be able to step it up and decide how much they want to go into learning. It also has other levels, right? Sometimes when you are really, really sick, self-help and routines and exercises may not be able to get as deep as you would need. So sometimes you actually do need help from outside, but for prevention and for most of the things, you can still make a very good progress by doing the exercises and the self-help techniques and exercises.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for explaining that. I mean, I completely agree with that. I feel like what I know helps me for the most part stay balanced, sort of the daily vitamin routine, right? And I take exactly. Even my vitamin C and my vitamin D, and that's how I feel when I do like the basic routine. I'm like, okay, I'm doing that now. Of course, if things happen where I, maybe a flu or a virus or I haven't had COVID, thankfully, but there are definitely, I think that's when it's like, okay, I need additional help from a professional who's trained.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just like you would not try to heal your broken bone by yourself, even though you have band-aids and bandages. The same goes for energy medicine and treatments. You can try, and that's what we actually decided when we realized how bad my energies were. We realized that for us to be able to heal going to a practitioner, we would have to go daily with them. And then we said, and we wouldn't learn. And that's when we decided, we need to take ownership of our health. And instead of spending the money going with practitioners on a daily basis, we will do it ourselves. And that's why we spend, years figuring things out.
Wonderful. Yeah. Why is it important? What happens during an energy session?
Well, basically, the clients come, they tell us what they want to work with, and we focus in the flow of the energy. It's just, we check the exercise that need to be done, but also that the flow, the internal, external, the aura, the chakras, everything is flowing correctly. It's like a river. If the water is not moving, you get sick. But if it's flowing, then everything, the water is clear, So we focus on finding sometimes emotions that are stuck in your energy system. And sometimes if you find the emotion that is causing the root cause of the illness, sometimes we get like very, very fast results, right?
That's
right.
when miracles happen.
Yeah.
I mean, sincerely, when you find that one emotion that is the root cause of the problem, you see miracles. It doesn't happen every time, and that is one of the big misconceptions of energy work. When people come and think that they're going to spend an hour or 2 hours with us and they're going to be healed from everything. Normally, it's a process where we are balancing the systems, but there are those cases when the person is ready for the healing, and the system show us the problem, that we can basically, it just happens, and it's amazing to see that.
Yeah. I bet it is. I feel like for me, I've been having some back problems, right, recently, and so I just really started doing a lot of reading, and for me, and like doing my everyday Eden energy medicine, but not really focused, with a focused practitioner. So I just have been doing a lot of reading about that connection of pain, in the body, and the connection with emotions, and how we can repress emotions, and they get stuck in certain places. So to be able to release that is so great on so many different levels, but it really does require somebody trained like the two of you, I think, to really help release those blockages.
It's helpful. Definitely. I myself had a degenerative disc and a herniated disc on my L4. And
that's where mine is, L4 and L5.
L4. So we started to look for another modalities, etc., and look, and I was able to get rid of the pain, but it was coming back. So I will get rid of the pain, coming back, and then I started to looking for the emotions behind it, and it was until I was meditating on the pain. And I found the root cause of the emotion, the root emotion of that. And as soon as I realized it, the pain went away, never came back.
Wow. Yeah. See, I mean, those are miracles, but they really happen. I mean, I'm a true believer in this. I have been in alternative medicine for many, many years. And I just love that. So Bernie was able to get to a point where he ran a triathlon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, both of you. Wow.
Yeah, after the degenerative disc, she did races, 5K, 10K races, and triathlons.
Ah.
She actually got second place in Beijing in the triathlon for her age group.
So when they
Congratulations.
told me I couldn't even carry my babies, they are 10 and 12, and
Oh.
I still carry them, and then
Yeah.
I can run with no problem. So
That's
it is
great.
possible. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
so-
one of the things that we tell our clients is, we cannot promise anything. There's no guarantees, right? Even if you go for a chemotherapy treatment, they are not guaranteeing that you're going to get well. It depends how your body responds. But what we tell them, expect miracles. They can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I mean, I've had on my bucket list to walk El Camino in, France and Spain. And so this fall, when they said, surgery and so I thought, oh no, I'm not going to be able to. But maybe if I work with you all, I'll need to come and work with you all so that I can achieve my goal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And one of the things about emotions is that, we suppress emotions, and they are like inside a sack. So when somebody comes after, 30, 40, 50 years of not taking care of them, we need to start taking and dissolving those patterns, dissolving those emotions. So many times it's a process. Sometimes, depending on how much they have accumulated, it may be easier than other times. But the key is that once those emotions are out, you are good. You are healed for good. And also a very different approach is doing energy. When Claudia can see the energy, Claudia can see the energy body, can see the chakras, the meridians, the blockages in the body. Even now, just by looking at you on the camera, it's scary. I'm always like this, and I behave very well because she will know. But the key here is it depends on the process, but it's very different than a psychotherapy. When somebody comes, they can tell us about the anger that they have in the past or the problems they have with the family, but we don't need any of that information. When we connect to the energy, the problems are going to show up, the emotions are going to show up, and we're going to be able to dissolve them. Sometimes you can actually see the stories behind the emotions that we're taking away, which is pretty scary and woo-woo, but it happens.
But in a good way.
And we believe on it. As engineers, we don't understand how this is possible to do it, but it happens, so we accept it and we love it.
And you believe in it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the person doesn't need to live the drama again of a very traumatic experience. We just take that emotion away, and the body starts balancing. So it's fascinating to see how it works.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Is it possible, for instance, for you to show us maybe just one or two of the techniques that you feel, I don't know, however you want to do it, like that is effective, that's good for daily, or something that you two are like your favorite ones, something like that?
I would say for simple exercises, Donna Edens are the best for that. So we can share a couple. Why don't we share the zip up and the hook up, and then we can do maybe one more.
Okay. So sometimes when you feel vulnerable to external energies, or maybe you're walking into a mall and you feel like it's too much or something. The easiest way is just to imagine that you have a zip in the middle of your body. So you can put your hands on the pubic bone and just zip it up all the way to your mouth. And you do it 3 times while you breathe in, and you exhale, and then the 3rd time.
And this simple technique, what it's doing is we are interacting electromagnetically with a meridian that is from Chinese medicine, that it's the central meridian that goes from the pubic bone to here. So by having that strong, it prevents the external influences to impact us that deep.
Very nice.
And another one, just to connect to yourself, is the hookup. We love the hookup. So basically you put one finger on your belly button and the other in the middle of your eyebrows, and you press and push up a little bit, and then you stay there and just breathe in. And you
that's
can
what
stay.
happens. You are connected. That is one of the symptoms, the connection. It was super fast. That is what sighing is one of the secondary effects of connection of these 2 points.
Yes, I feel like I yawn so much when I'm doing this work.
Yes.
And normally you would stay 1 or 2 minutes when you start because the energies may not be connected. But after you do it more often, you will almost hook up immediately.
And I think one that is very useful in these stressful days is we have a system that is also meridian that is called the triple warmer, and it's in charge of the fight, flight, and response, and the stress. It gets freaked out when you have stress in your life. So one way just to calm down that triple warmer is doing the triple warmer smoothie, and it's super simple. And you just go behind your ears, and then you go and connect with the vagus nerve in your neck, and you bring it to your heart. And that's it.
If you feel anxiety, you can follow up with the gamut point, which is between the 4th and the 5th finger, and you just do tapping if there is some anxiety as well. This can be a standalone exercise, or it can be used as a continuation of this one, and you can change hands if you want. It's all about listening to the body, right? They tell me, how many taps do you need to do? And I sometimes joking, I said, you need to do 17 because if you do 18, you will explode. It's just, just listen to the body and do what feels right. And Qigong and Chinese, it's very mystical, right? They talk about the number 8s, the number 7, the number 9s, and how you have to do that number. Well, in our experience, there is some connection because many people over the years have done that, so it's more powerful. But that doesn't mean that if you do 1 more or 1 less, something dramatic is going to happen.
So just listen to your body is the key.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Very helpful. Thank you. And with the 777, can you explain that just a little bit? What that means, the 777?
Triple warmer.
Triple warmer.
Oh, triple warmer. That's right. Okay, sorry.
So triple warmer is a meridian and a strange flow, what Donna Eden also calls radiant circuit.
Yes.
And basically it goes from the ring finger all the way back to the around the ear, and that's the meridian part. The radiant circuit part of it can go everywhere in the body, and it's basically our militia, right? It's our Navy, our Army. It's the one that is in charge of protecting us. The problem is that it has not, as Donna Eden says, it has not evolved from the hundreds or thousands of years that we have been in the earth. So when there's something that is going to be harmful for us, it will kick in immediately. It's protecting us, right? Before it made sense because our stresses were, the lions trying to eat us or your wife being angry. Well, that's still up today, but the key is now when you are in front of a movie and you're seeing somebody killing each other, your triple warmer does not differentiate reality versus what is happening in the movie, in the news, or a blue screen of death from Windows, right? That's a stress response, and it keeps responding. So over time, it just becomes so tired of responding that can cause all sorts of issues. Donna says that all autoimmune illnesses actually have their origin or a big factor contributed by the triple warmer unbalance and spleen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you. And so you have a new project. Can you please tell us about it?
Sure. So with all this pandemic, we were trying to first find ways to encourage our families, our friends to do the energy routines and the work that we have been telling them for 15 years or more. It's very important to have them doing that, so that if something happens, this doesn't prevent you from being sick, but if something happens, you will be able to be flexible and get out of the sickness a lot faster. So we started thinking of doing some videos. We were doing some calls with them, etc., and then it expanded. Now we are having sessions with the Hispanic community, at least once a month, sharing the exercises live on Zoom. We are having some master classes, sharing deeper knowledge with them as well. And we have a YouTube channel. Right now, all of this is in Spanish, but we are looking into expanding into English very shortly. So if anybody's interested in signing up for this type of sessions, just send us an email. I'm sure we will respond, and we can put you in the list so that when we have that new project, you will be one of the first ones.
Wonderful. Yeah, we definitely want to share your all your contact information with the audience, because I know that they're going to want to reach out to you, because this is the work that you're doing is just so important, and it's about healing the world, really, one person at a time.
Yeah, hopefully many at a time, right? and that is one of the reasons why we're doing this, right? The project is trying to help as many people as possible and have different options for the people, right? We are doing from free sessions, group sessions, free, the YouTube channel, everything that we know we're sharing freely, right? But there's somebody that they want additional support. So we have also the individual sessions. Yet we are also giving classes. So we have, a different avenue for everybody, but we want this to be known by everybody that needs to know about it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I was wondering, could you leave us with some words of wisdom, please?
Sure.
I think my main advice would be listen to your body and don't repress those emotions, because emotions that you repress eventually will cause some kind of imbalance in your body. That's the most that I have seen in the clients. It's emotions that get stuck. So if you have an emotion, don't put it aside. Don't say, I don't want to deal with you. Deal with it. So just feel your emotion, let it express, let it be. No good or bad emotions. They are just emotions. So just let them be, let them express, and eventually they will go away. And then you don't have any blockage in your body that will cause any problems later.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Klau.
Yeah, and by doing that, you're basically doing preventive maintenance in yourself, which is much cheaper and a lot faster. Once you have a problem, you're going to have a lot more time to invest and money to be able to go back to be healthy. So invest the time now, it will be a lot better and will pay dividends through your life.
Yeah, I love that. And, I'm 59 years old, and I'm just now getting to that part on my journey of realizing, oh boy, I've been repressing emotions my whole life. And so, I'm learning to use this new muscle of expressing it, and not letting the elephant stay in the room, like they say, right? But and to not harbor the resentments, and it's quite a process. And I would love it if families knew this, so that they can teach their kids, right? And I'm sure you all do that with your kids, to be able to tell them, like you said to us, all emotions are okay. What we consider the bad and the good, so that's my wish too, that families learn so that their kids can learn, and it's in the schools that they teach the kids.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we actually lived in China for 4 years. And one of the projects that Claudia had was in the school that our kids went, they were doing some of the energy exercises to help them. So, you can tell the difference right away with the behavior of the kids.
I loved it. The school was so open that at least they let me teach for the kids the Wen Cook, the simplified Wen Cook.
Yeah.
So the kids can put more attention to the teachers. They can learn better. And then also I teach them how to control or be balanced on their emotions, especially when they are getting to the teenage years, right? So
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the end, that it just brings more joy, right, to everybody when you're in more of that stable, balanced state.
Yeah, and we live, we tell our friends, we're not crazy. Our reality is just different than yours, right? Our kid calls us and says, hey, I got hurt at school. Can you heal me? Sure. And we just heal her while he's at school, right? Our parents from Mexico call us and we help them. It's just a different way. And it's a new normal, right? It doesn't seem like, whoa, how is this working? It's just like, yeah, let's just help people around the world, right?
I love that. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And, this continues to be a powerful time to love each other, to unite, and to live in peace. And I want to thank you so much, Bernie y Klau, for joining me today. I'm very grateful. I honor the light in you. Thank you so much for listening to Uno Souls Chat. You can find us at www.unosouls.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I would love to hear from you if you would like to chat with me. Have a beautiful week and see you at the next episode.